Oh, we gotta be vertical? Really? Alright. We're trying it. Wag! Welcome back to the Red Wunz Go Fasta. Ah. Alright, so we used to live stream on Twitch, and that went okay, but most people know me from the YouTube channel, and they said what you really got to do is live stream on YouTube. So we are trying it for a very specific reason, and that is actually twofold. One is sometimes on my videos, after all the credits roll, I do a little extra funny bit. And in one of them, I put on that the first person to respond would get a hand drawn drawing by me. I had two respondees, so they both won. So we're going to draw some pictures. The second reason is we've got to get this figured out so that we can start live streaming exclusively for the patrons. So the patrons will get to interact in the live stream and do the chat and all that stuff, and then we'll post the video on YouTube for everybody when it's all done. So very excited to get that set up. This is the test run. I'm pretty sure that these live streams get to stay on YouTube when they're done, so we're going to see how that goes too. But you're going to stop looking at me face and start looking at me drawing. Here we go. Let's see, how can we do this in a way that makes sense? And I can see. Ba-ba-ba. Yeah, that sort of works. Okay. The request was given. Probably shouldn't just draw right on this. It's got all sorts of crap on it. All right, we are doing a a death skull. A death skull on top of a pile. Let me check that again. Is that what we were supposed to do? Where did it go? Stop. Alright, a Death Skull Big Mac hoarding a pile of stolen loot. Alright, so first of all, we need us a Big Mac and a pile of loot. Alright, let me see here. I really wish I had some more room on this thing. Still working out kinks. Bear with me. There we go. Okay, try to get to where you can see what is going on and that we are lit from every direction. Sorry, like, what are we doing? Make aha! We are drawing. We are drawing orcs. So, Geek Tinker and Hobbies on Discord, he won a free drawing because at the end of one of my videos, I said that the first person to shoot me a message would get a free drawing. So, he won. And the drawing he requested is a Death Skull Big Mac on a pile of loot. So first of all, we want to get our general proportions, okay? So we've got our ground level here. We're going to have our pile of loot kind of coming up like that. And we are going to have our Big Mac on top of it. So we got some basic shapes. Got a head, body, and let's see, we'll do a crazy custom force field. Arm, and see, probably a big old power claw. Not claws. What do you think? Should we do a claw? There's three of you watching. Let me know. What should we do? What loadout we giving him? You got to figure out loadout here. All right, but then we got our pile of loot. He's a dirty Death Skull, so none of it is actually his. All right. What are some of the things that we gonna loot? Well, he's just time to watch you draw this up. Sweet. Good to see you, Gene. Yeah, this is a replacement for our Twitch live stream. Double saw. Ooh, double saw. I wasn't thinking about, but that could be interesting. It's supposed to be a Death Skull Big Mac on top of all of his loot, but saw. I do like saw. Okay. All right, let's start with what kind of loot do we got? What kind of loot? We looting Beaky stuff, Eldar stuff, other orc stuff, everything. We're looting on a tank. Da, 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 da. So the face is the focal point of any drawing with a character in it. So you really want to kind of start with the face and frame around from that, because that's what everybody's eyes are going to look for. So we want to get that kind of blocked in first to make sure that we're on the right path on what this thing is going to look like. Give him a half iron god there. Umi heads and guns. Well, I mean, Umi heads obviously, but it's a Big Mech looting thing. So, like, what is he gonna be looting? Is it a pile of Lehman Russes or what? Let's give him a bionic eye. That'd be more cooler. You know what? He got a hair squig, so we'll do a hair squig. Look good in the breeze. Let's do that. We'll get that arm up in the air. We'll put the claw on that one. So that looks to start with. Take that arm out. Put that one in. So we're just rough blocking. We're just rough blocking at first, all right? You want to, what you're looking for is proportions, right? I want to make sure that my head is the right size for my body is the right size for the overall orc, and that the orc is in proportion with everything else. A lot of people, when they start freehand drawing, they get drawn into like really doing a whole lot of details in one little spot, and then you back up and you can't see the forest anymore because all the trees are funky. Anything goes for loot and build out. True Big Mech doesn't discriminate. That's right. That is true. Anything, anytime, any place. Oh, you know what? That gave me an excellent idea. And looking at the curvature we got going here. 4 internet points for whoever guesses what the what he's looting. Get rid of the competing lines there. Wagga, 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 wagga. Probably gonna have some sort of knee pattern around that one. Get the other boot kind of down there behind the head. Get that going up in there. right, I'm going to rotate this claw a little bit. There we go. All right, gotta be funny. Gotta throw a little grout in here, cutting the thing open with a saw. That way we get that saw in there. No, I stole this pencil from my grots. It's whatever was laying around. I am extremely not picky about my art making supplies when it comes to anything other than painting. And frankly, even painting, honestly, I'm not that picky about. I mean, I use, oh, just counting here on the bench. I'll show you. I mean, we've got Citadel, Tamiya, Model Master, old school testers. Like, I just don't care. So many of my brushes are like literal garbage brand brushes. Yeah, I don't put much stock into it because it's all about the technique. It's not about the the product, so to say. To a point. Obviously, there's pencils that like don't erase and totally suck, and paints that just flat out don't work. But as far as the like, oh, well, this paint's good, this paint's better, this paint's the best, like if they're all good enough, then they're all good enough. Same thing with pencils. Now, colored pencils, there's definitely some to be said. There are colored pencils that absolutely suck, and there are colored pencils that are good. Unfortunately, the Grots have all the good ones. All right, let's see. Put some crazy exhaust pipes on that one. All right, let's keep working on getting him filled out here. All right, so classic proportions, when you've got somebody kind of standing up over something, the chest is going to be barreling outward and the legs are going to be barreling outward. And what you want to do is kind of squeeze the belt in the middle to show that that 3D movement. Basically, kind of like this, because you don't want to look straight like this. So we're gonna bend that in a bit. You can round out some legs here. He's got that glorious hangy downy thingy. I don't even know why it works. Wear those, but they do. All right. Make him a little more barrel chested on that back side there. Got his arm. And let's give him a cyborg arm on this side. That'll be cool. Do a second little piston thing to there, all stabbed into the meat. Bring that down a little more. Show the curve going up over the shoulder like that. There we go. We're going to do a custom force field, but forget that. Forget that. We don't need that. Gonna give him a super crude claw hand. He's only got three fingers in the thumb. And we'll have his big old custom Mega Blaster there. If y'all got any questions, ask away. I'm just talking to myself out here, which is kind of weird. All the other live streams we've done, there's been like an event going on, so we're listening to the other ding-dongs talk from Games Workshop. He's not gonna have it there. He's gonna have that here at the end. Big old sight. We'll make it funny looking. We'll put a red arrow on it. See, I get distracted drawing those details, right? Any big plans coming up for custom models? Ooh, that is a good question. So I'd really like to get my hands on a Stompa box, even though I already have everything in it but the new Big Mech. And the reason for that is I want to use the Stompa pieces to make not a Stompa. We'll just kind of put it at that. But I haven't been able to find one for less than retail, and Games Workshop obviously isn't sending me one. So we'll keep waiting on that. But yeah, failing getting that, other custom models coming up. When I do get the Big Mech model, because I'm sure it'll come on his own, I do plan on kit bashing, because it gives you the 2 different weapon options and the 2 different backpacks and all that stuff. So I'm totally going to kit bash a second one and do a whole video on that. So definitely expect that. And then Mega Knobs. I did that little video on the best bases for Mega Knobs, and I realized that like my own 6 Mega Knobs are not enough, and I need a bunch more. So I'm definitely going to do some of my own Mega Knob kit bashing as well. On the Discord, a bunch of you guys are posting up the Ambots that you turn into Mega Knobs, and those looked so cool. So I think I'm definitely doing the Ambot ones. Right? I feel you, Gene. You get like distracted because it's like, oh, this part's cool. I should do more with this part. Next thing you know, you haven't actually finished what you're supposed to be doing because, reasons. All right. All right. Let's keep working on them here. It's Big Mac, so we'll actually make that come up. Kind of look a little bit like an apron. Give him a little pocket there. Shove a wrench in it. Put a gubbin this thingy there. Another gubbins pouch on this backside. Can help fill that out, bulk that up. Let's see. Nothing there. Building kill rig. Did you end up using? No. So Mega Pro Chef, I did not use magnets. If you watch my kill rig video, the only things that you need to move to go between the kill rig and the hunter rig are the big gun turret things and the Werboy. And the Werboy, you just glue him to a base, and then he just stands on it. And then the guns, there's actual receivers in the deck. And so you just glue down the receiver where you want it, and then you can just pick up the gun and move it. Everything else stays the same. So it's a zero magnetization dual kit, which is really, really, really cool. Especially if you want to add other guns to it. Here's a little sneaky peek for you guys. You ready for a sneaky peek? Check this out. Legit old school Forge World orc gun. I forget which particular one this is. They all had different fun names. But yeah, I acquired this, and I want to get it set up to where I can put it on my kill rig and just kind of have it for funsies. But I'll also be able to put it on my battle wagon too, I think. I don't know. It was supposed to go in the back of a truck back in the day, and you would turn the truck into something awesome. This one was the anti-air like pom-pom gun. So yeah, that was a sneak preview. All right, back to drawing. Back to drawing. Yeah, a little patchy skin there. Let's see. Probably wearing a big old backpack full of junk and things. Let that come down like that. There's another one down there. There's some tubes. Let's see. Let the tube coming out there for no good reason. I'm going right there. Okay. Let's see. It needs a good old wog banner on there. Let's pull this down a little so you guys can see it better. So is anybody watching draw? Does anybody still do good old-fashioned 2D pencil paper? Anything like that? Now I'm wishing I had a wife does, but not 40K. Oh. Didn't know if it was added as an afterthought. Oh, yeah, no, it's I built that kill rig very intentionally to do both. Mega Pro Chef definitely built it intentionally to do both. So just follow along, and yeah, you'll get it no problem. You'll see it works. My darn grots have stolen all of my things and replaced them with these garbages that are all like that and have no erasers on them. I'm trying to work with here. Guess that's what I get for not drawing anything for like years. Ooh, what's that? Oh, all sorts of fun things in here. Alright. You know what? Sharpen with a knife. Pumpkin, that's cool that your wife draws and does things. Mrs. Big Mac is quite the artist. She actually went to college for a few years to be an art therapist, but not in any of the mediums that we know and understand. She does like music and sculpture and things like that. We got her to paint a Warhammer thing once because all four Grots and I are all into doing the minis, and it took quite a bit of braiding, but we finally got her to do one. If you want to see it, I'll put it up on the screen. I feel you, Gene. That's actually how I got started. It was sketching and drawing was a way for me to like reset my brain and yeah, like tackle something in the background. So was that definitely to seeing the one Mrs. Big Mac mini? Yes. All right, all right, all right. I'll go get it. Be right back. Won't take 2 seconds. All right. There you go. So that is Mrs. Big Mac's. It's a Stormcast Eternal Griffhound. So that was the one and only Warhammer mini that we convinced her to paint. She did a really awesome job on the base. If you look here on the base, all the leaves and the branches and stuff like look really really cool. But yeah, that's the one that she did. It lives up on the mantle. She complained that it was too small to see, and so I tried handing her the Stampa and said, "Well, here, paint this." And she kind of rolled her eyes at me. So, all right, let's get his face finished out here. So, like that, some rivets, little marks. Great for a role playing encounter. Right? Yeah, so we do D&D as a family. We call it Dungeons and Dinner because we tend to do it after family dinner. So like once a week we get everyone together just to do a D&D session, and it's very modified. We don't follow the actual guide extremely closely as far as encounters go. But they did an entire starter set, like start to finish, all the adventures on it with the pre-made characters, and then they all decided to build their own characters, and we're doing our own campaign. We're using a campaign book, but they're using their own characters, and that's been going really, really, really fun. And so yeah, we've got a bunch of minis that we use for that, and we've got some like old school 80s like toy castle things that are like bricks and stuff that you can kind of move around to make into the dungeons. It's fun. We have a good time with that. All right, let's see. I think we are ready to start filling in some more. So let us start with his face. All right. Ooh. There's a dark early red. Mahogany, that might work. Lighter red through the gums. Kind of a. Come on. Get around here. Dungeons and pizza. Heck yeah. It was really awesome how we started it too. So we did the whole little practice thing, and when we got done, they had defeated. It was called the Black Spider or something like that, and they saved this town called Findalen. And when they made all their own characters, we decided that they weren't going to have anything to do with their old characters at all. They had to be like completely brand new, completely their own. And they're all starting like level 0, didn't know nothing, right? And what we did is we had a big family dinner that night, and we made, I can't even remember, but it was something kind of ridiculous. We had like big old roasted turkey legs or something like that, you know, kind of old schooly. And it was like during the holidays, and I got some oh, what the heck is it? I want to call it wassail sauce, but that's not it. It's like this cranberry juice drink, right? That you get in the holidays. And so we had big old mugs of this like cranberry juice and these big old turkey legs and like no silverware, and everyone had to stay in character the whole time. And it was everyone meeting each other for the first time at the tavern in the town, celebrating the town's freedom that their old characters had freed. And it was just such a fun way to start the adventure, and then also, like, you know, it doesn't invalidate their original campaign. That was really cool. That was a lot of fun. All right, we need a cool bluey gray. That should work. All right, and trickery time. So when you do the gray and you need to add some coolness to it, you get a little light blue on the edges there. And then to really sell it home, grab a little violet, and you violet the shadows. And that's how you can get the cool metal. Now, oops, none of these greens are any good. There we go. So the great thing about like colored pencils that you can't do with paint is you just press harder to get it darker, and that's how you get your color gradients in there. All right, now coup de grace. Where is the? Thinking about doing some fan art during the holidays. Is there any of your orcs you have a particular attachment to? Hmm. That's always a tough question, right? Because I don't think that 3D orcs translate to 2D very well. So like Pain Boss, for example, right? I've always hated this mini because in pictures, right, 2D photos, he looks super dorky, right? He's got just kind of this funky look on his face, and he's holding a claw up, and you're like, what the heck is going on with it? And then you get it in person in 3D, and it's a lot cooler looking than it is in the 2D, and it doesn't come across in any kind of pictures or videos, and that's why I haven't really finished him or showed him off yet, because it just doesn't translate. So in person, I love him. On paper, I think he's terrible and ugly. So the pose that you have in 2D and the pose that you have in 3D are very, very different. Wookie Sin finally started my mini painting journey this past week. Haven't touched my 40K stuff yet, but I've done almost everything for Shatterpoint. Yo, that's awesome, dude. How are you liking that? The Shatterpoint models look really cool. They're like a little bigger scale, right? They're like super heroic. That's cool. Okay, so skin, back to skin. So this was our base layer skin. Going kind of soft on it. We're setting an undertone is what we're doing. Just like painting. Think of this almost as like your primer, especially if you use like a colored primer for the skin. I'm gonna come in on the side there. Okay, and then this is what we were using for the shading. So, all right, if our light source is up here and coming down this way, right, we're gonna shade underneath the muscle. Obviously, in the armpit, it's gonna be very dark. Same thing with this side, right? The whole bottom side of this arm is going to be deep, deep, deep in shade. There's not going to be any light source on it, whereas the top of the arm is going to be quite well defined in that light source. And then you lightly use it to fill in the gradient. And notice that I'm coloring kind of like in a circular pattern, because these are muscles, right? And muscles are, they're round, right? And so you don't have any straight lines. You don't want to go straight line back and forth or anything like that. You want to make the same kind of curvature. How many points at works do you have at this point? This bumpkin, that is a trick question. Actually, I can tell you to the T. Oh, no, it turned off. Oh, come on. Come back, you ding dong thing. There it is. Hold on, I gotta find my army list. Oh, come on, where are you? Where'd it go? Oh shoot, I can't find it. I can't give you the exact actual points. I had over 3,500 built and painted, fully ready to go, tournament legal, all that good stuff. That was before the 10th edition codex. Now, already in the index, I lost the Mech Boy Workshop, and so that was a few points and 1 unit down. But when the codex actually finally hits, I'm going to drop a bunch, because like I had 2 knobs with WOG banners that now no longer exist. I had a squad of Grot tanks that no longer exist. A couple other things like that. So the other thing that it did is with the war gear changes and whatnot, I'm gonna have to like rearrange some squads, and so I'm actually gonna do like a whole video on just how much smaller my army got in this edition. But as far as built but not painted fully, I have somewhere around 6,000 to 6,500 points more that are either just built and bare plastic, or undercoated, or have like some base layers like this. This guy is still in the unpainted realm. I don't count my fully painted stuff until it is truly, truly done. Yeah, closer in scale to MCP than 40K. Cad Bane Grievous knotted. That's awesome. So when Wookie Sin, when Legion came out, I actually did a partnership with a local hobby store of mine, and this was back before I had a YouTube or anything like that. And at the time, I was not into 40K. It was during my hiatus. Legion had come out. I was huge into X-Wing, and I had been painting my X-Wings, and they gave me a box of Legion. The local store did, and I painted up everything in the box before launch day. And so on launch day, we were able to set up a table with all of the figures on it fully painted and ready to go, and do demo games for everyone. So Legion was pretty cool when that first dropped, and then Shatterpoint looks really cool. I like the bigger scale and the more leaning on the heroes, because that's what Star Wars is, more so than squads. That your 40K stuff is blank slate restarted and terrain working. Heck yeah. Like, Gene, that is my favorite part. Okay, so back in the day, right, really loved Star Wars and all that stuff, but the problem with any of that, especially when you get into like miniatures, is you can't do anything with it, right? Stormtroopers are white, and that's that. You can't create your own lore, you can't do your own thing, you can't, like, you're so locked in. With 40K, you're just not. You can do literally whatever you want. If my Space Marines are chicks, then so be it. Like, it just doesn't matter. And doesn't matter what color you paint it, doesn't matter what your background is, your lore. You could have Chaos Orcs, you could have you know, whatever you want. And I think that's the really like what drew me back in is that complete freedom to just do whatever you want with it is so much fun. Grot tanks almost got me to orcs when I first started Chandler Legends. So this pumpkin, don't let that discourage you. In Legends, you can still use that unit for every game legally that is a casual game. So what that means is unless you're going to a tournament that is specifically sanctioned by Games Workshop, so that would be like a Rogue Trader or a US Open or something like that, the Legends are legal. And even most store level tournaments, they'll let you know in the tournament details whether or not you can do Legends or not, and a lot of local store ones do. So even like local tourneys, you can use them. So don't let being in Legends discourage you from doing it or having it or enjoying that unit. Like really, for real. There's no reason to fret. Shoot, the I was talking about this with somebody else earlier. The War Buggy and War Track, the original Gorka Morka buggies, um, they've been in Legends for over a decade, right? Over a decade they've been in Legends, and you can still use them to this day. So there's no like, I mean, yeah, they might fall off eventually, but shoot, if you've gotten an extra decade out of them after they were out for 20 years to start with, can you really complain? All right. So trying to find another green to get in there. Okay. Keep getting distracted. Why do I keep getting distracted? All right. What color should his hair squig be? Moving all that work stuff to Legends is disappointing. I'm hoping to still play those units in Apocalypse. Oh man, dude. Okay, so Apocalypse has always been its own thing. And if Apocalypse gets re-released and you can take all that stuff, which you really should, because that's really where 99% of Forge World stuff came from was Apocalypse. That would be absolutely rad as all get out. And yeah, being able to use it in Apocalypse is totally worth it. All right, so we're just adding some leather on his gubbins there. We've got his apron here to deal with. The reason why I was doing that is I've got this little patch here that I should probably green up as well and make his chest, because good orcs are bare chested. What we want to do is make sure that it's looking right. We've got our proportions right and stuff. It's all beast stagas, 3 battle force box, 3 the stag and squig head Wukas. Yo, dude, Wookie Sen, that is a proper army, my friend. Count me jelly. All right, then we got our little wrench there. Let's work on Wrenchy Boy. And again, we want to make him a little cool. I'm going to use a little bit of that ice blue and a little bit of violet here. Like that. Okay. Same with this. I need to under that in the violet. A little bit of blue on that on top. First with the orc scorches. Oh, heck yeah, dude. Dude. Scorches. Where's my box? Oh, no, I don't have it. Yeah, I used to have a Scorcha box around here somewhere, but I think I ended up giving it to my buddy who runs all Burners and Scorches in his army because he deserved to have it. Yeah, I love the Scorches. Okay. All right, so now that we've got that set, I took a little bit of the yellow here. Let's bring some warmth and light in. Turn it back up. Okay, now, hair squig color. What are we doing? Always deep dive, right? Well, let's see. He is a filthy death skull, right? So it should probably be blue. Got us a blue hair squig. All right, so for hair, you don't ever want to color it. You only want to draw it. And what you want to do is try to get some long hairs in with the short hairs. You don't want a whole bunch of little choppy sections, because that's not how real hair works, right? Yeah. And of course, real hair has natural highlights and stuff in it that don't always follow where your light source is. So something to keep in mind when you're painting hair if you want it to look more natural. Dag. All right, we're going to give him some dags over here too. Being a filthy, filthy death skull. Now these front ones are going to be darker than the top ones, because again, the light's kind of coming from his shoulder. It's up above him. And then they'll get progressively lighter as you go up. I think a better mid-tone blue for that. Why is there not a colored pencil color called Dirty Dirty Death Skull Blue? Wouldn't that be fun to make like a paint set and name all the paints fun at work names? Aha, there we go. Right, then we're going to come in with our lightest one and frame in from there. All right, now, since they are deaf skulls and they can't really paint very well, we need a creamy color for the white. Sell that off as well, like that. Booyah, yeah. All right, and we're going to go ahead and make this whole plate here blue. All right, now, fun part. So once you've gotten your color blocks in, right, you lose some of the detail of what's going on. That's where something like this comes in to bring it back. Obviously, like using a real artist pen and all that would be better, but I don't have any of that laying around. to dog. How's that looking, fellas? We having fun? Does it look good? Is any of this trash I'm talking making sense? Sharpies are the workhorses of the sketching world. So what kind of things would you like to see in future live streams? What would get you to come hang out and do this? Just talking about orky stuff, painting models, building models, doing theory crafting. You can tell me what your collection is, and I make your army list. What is it? What is it gonna? What would drive you to come here and do this on a regular basis? You know. So you need black pants. Black pants. Card text. Anything miniature oriented or orky. Okay. Just have fun with it. All right. Morning. I might be like working on the speed buggy or something like that. I don't know. Heavily shaded over here. This leg will be much darker. Maybe just a little bit light on there. It's a happy little trees. Robert Ross work. Collabs with other content creators would be cool. Yeah, it would. I gotta get other content creators to respond to me. Some texture to the leather here. How busy on day live stream sitting at retail arbitrage. I don't even know what those words mean, Gene. Inventory means gubbins, right? Ooh, past games, returning games. Yes, Disbumpkin, I have been. All right, let's do story time then while I'm coloring and sketching here. Way back in the day, I got into 40K in 2nd edition. Just playing with buddies and friends and things like that. I didn't really get deep into it until 3rd. 3rd edition dropped, and the game went from being like a tabletop RPG to more like a, what it is today, right? An actual war game. And we got super deep into it. And I started going to store tournaments and things like that. And then 4th edition happened, and I did it even more. And so I ended up, way back when there was a series of games called the Ard Boys Tournament. And it was like local game stores running tourneys that were sanctioned by Games Workshop, and you could like get season points and all these kind of things. And I actually won a couple of them in various towns. I got real competitive with it. In the day, I played Dark Eldar in fourth, and then when they got deleted for fifth, I switched to Black Templars. Always had orcs, but orcs were not my tournament army. Orcs were for when I was having fun. My tournament army was a very different play style, you know. But these days, I haven't done any tournaments or anything like that in a long time. But I am going to the Tacoma Open, and I am bringing my orcs with me. I don't know if I'm going to play any games. I signed up for the casual. I forget the actual name of it, but there's like a casual fan experience thing that you can do, and that's what I'm doing because I'm there for the painting competition. So I am going to be trying to win some painting competition at Tacoma Open. So we'll see how that goes. Loot the gubbins at the thrift store and yard sales and resell them on the internet. Oh, heck yeah, dude. I gotcha. I've done that a lot. It's a great fallback, especially in hard economic times. And just a great extra income stream, period, man. It's actually how my orc collection grew so big. I kept buying other people's orc collections. And then I would keep the units that I wanted, and I'd part out everything else. Hanging on stream, painting orcs. Good vibes, man. Heck yeah. Welcome, McFatson. We are, I'm drawing orcs. I'm glad someone's painting orcs. I don't know what everybody else is doing. Gene is looking at gubbins. Yeah, so for those of you that missed it, the reason why I'm even drawing this in the first place is on one of my videos, all the way at the very end, after the credits rolled, I said that the first person that shot me a message would get a drawing, and so I am doing that drawing live. So yeah, you never know what old Cunnin' Big Mac's gonna throw into something. You never know. Crumped the old bosses and took his boys. Hey Joel, and hey Joel's Grot. We are drawing a Death Skull's Big Mac on his pile of loot, and his pile of loot has turned into a Titan head. And in fact, we have a grot here. I haven't finished the grot yet. Yeah, it's me, Matt. Yo, Matt, welcome, Mud. Very first 2,000 point game this weekend. Good luck with that, man. Go crump 'em! Yeah, kit bashing is the best. It's honestly like my favorite part of the whole hobby. And like it started off with, you know, like most everybody, when I was younger, we really didn't have much money. And you know, being able to go buy Warhammer was not in the cards for our family. And what I was able to do was get like secondhand old minis off of friends and things like that, and then literally use trash and things to build them, to make an army out of them. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And that's where I got into my scratch building and kit bashing, and it never ever left. And I still enjoy doing it to this day. That every kit is an opportunity to make it cooler or add more flavor to it, you know? Do the classic hazardy stripes on this wire here. Cable thing. I'm not real sure what it is, to be honest with you. It's gubbins. Orange. There we go. Remember back in 3rd edition when Basic Boys were like the only plastic kit? No. Yeah, dude, McFadden, that is exactly right. So in 3rd edition, for those of you that don't know, almost every model was metal. Your first plastic kits really didn't hit until 3rd. In 2nd edition, the starter set had plastic grots and orcs and space marines, like regular tactical squad, and that was it. And those were mostly the only plastic kits. They made a couple others. They made like the first Rhino. The Eldar Grav tank was actually the first like really crazy good kit that they did, like Guardians and things like that. But yeah, it was 3rd edition popped, and they finally started making plastic kits, and they were multi-part plastic kits. But it was basically just everybody's basic troops. You could get, Orc Boys and Space Marine Tactical Squad and Imperial Guard Squad. No, man, even the Imperial Guard Squad, I don't think that might not have even come out during 3rd. It was still a whole bunch of metal back then. Like, it was really few and far between to have plastic kits. And so what you would do is you'd actually buy the metal bits from GW to convert your plastic guys into things. They had this whole ginormous catalog, which, man, I got rid of mine like an idiot, and I've been dying to get one back. But they used to, in the back of the codexes and stuff, they'd give you the breakdown. Let me show you. I get all nostalgic. Yeah, so check this out. Okay. We'll do it like this. Hi, everybody. Hopefully, I didn't get motion sick. So this is the back of the 2nd edition Orc Codex. So like here was your plastics. You had like that was your basic boy, and that was your grot. Look, it's literally a one-piece grot, right? And then you'd get like they'd have like these extra weapon sprues, and arm sprues, and and then this like orky heavy weapon sprue thing, right? And that was it. That's all the plastics. Everything else is metal. So all of these grots were metal. All of these are metal. Look, there's Gaz right there. And here he is. I still have him. Oh, that was the other thing. Check this out. They printed it in 1-to-1 scale. So you could look at the bit size on here and put it against your model against it and know what size bit or what size model you were looking at. That was like super duper smart back in the day. But yeah, they had, check this out, they had individual part numbers for everything, right? So like if you wanted to put this banner top on your boss pole, you could actually order just that bit, like by itself. And it was so much fun to buy all these little metal bits and build whatever it was you were going to build. Yeah, I super loved doing that back in the day. Oh man, I missed a whole bunch of talk. Let's see. Never been able to afford Warhammer's on as a teen. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what it was, right? You started off with the little green army men, and like you'd battle over cardboard boxes and whatever you could find. Like it was just all about having a good time and rolling some dice. I remember I would go to like garage sales and buy like old board games that were missing pieces for like super cheap, just to steal the D6s out of them so we'd have enough D6s to roll. Always had the grenades with their own unit. Yeah, that was stick bombers. Stick bombers were their own unit. And yeah, you had to buy all the grenade arms to glue onto them. I actually really wish they'd bring stick bombers back as a unit. They were a lot of fun. Yeah, dude, Black Reach is where it was at. Black Reach was this like point in time for so many people because not only was it like third edition, right, was the first big 40K edition. Like it really was. Second was still very much like RPG, really nerdy. Third is where it became a tabletop war game and it got popular. So fourth was a big deal. It was a really big deal. And then fifth came and Blackreach was Blackreach fifth or fourth? No. Blackreach was fifth. Right? Yeah, because McCrag was fourth. But yeah, when Blackreach came out, that box, dude, you had orcs in it, you had knobs in it, you had a war boss in it, you had the death copters in it. Like that was the first box that it was an army. Every other box before that, you had like a squad and a guy, or maybe like a squad and a vehicle or something. Like they weren't even the second edition box, even though it was a bunch of boys and a bunch of Gretchen. Like that's all it was. The Dreadnought was a cardboard cutout. Like Black Reach box, and then oh man, secondhand, you'd still find them. They call it like a wog in a bag, right? Because it's this whole army. Even today, it's this whole army. Yes, the mailroom trolls. Uh yeah, somewhere around here, I've got a giant box of all my receipts from all the individual bits I bought back in the day from the trolls. McFadden, I can argue with you on that one, actually. Check this out. This, unfold it carefully. This is an ancient document from the Black Library. Come on. Come on. This is the poster that shops would get literally in 1999 with every single thing Game Workshop made with prices. All right? And check this out. They've got, so there's your third edition starter box, right? I'll flip it back around so you can actually read it because it's got some backwards down here. It's got third edition starter box here with 75 bucks. Except for that was 25 years ago, and when you do the math, it turns out to still be kind of the same. But the ones that I love were these army boxes. Check this out. Here is the Space Orc Army, right? So you got 16 boys, 5 knobs, a war boss, 5 war bikes, the war buggy, war truck, 8 storm boys, a dreadnought, a killacan, and 4 orcs with heavy weapons. And that whole box right there, all of the army boxes, they were the same prices. They were 200 bucks. Dude, 200 bucks in 1999? We can go to the internet. They'll tell us what that was. $374.95. So that army, right, in 2000s money, was the equivalent to being a $375 box today. The battle forces are like what, 220, 230 for the newest one? Like that's some more stuff volume wise, but like squad wise and height wise and like what you're getting out of it, points wise and stuff. Dude, we're like they were expensive. Five orc codexes come Saturday. Nice. I don't know what I'm up to be honest with you. It's a lot. It's more than 5. I don't think I have all of them. I think I'm missing one in the middle somewhere. I want to say like 6th. But I've got a Rogue Trader book. I've got 2nd, I've got 3rd, I've got 4th, I've got 5th, and I've definitely got 7th, 8th, and 9th. And then obviously I got to buy 10th. So I think 6th is the only one I'm missing. Plus I have Codex Armageddon. Work models to the recent Lego blind bag minifig. Oh, heck yeah. Totally not 40K. What are you talking about? I love it. I have that guy. He's in yeah, I'll take you on a ride. He lives in there with the little bitty baby orcs. Huh? Have you seen those? So, Matt, the Stompa box, the pre-order is done, but the actual box is not. It doesn't actually hit retail shelves to be sold until Friday. And I've done videos on this before. Retail shops have what they call holdback inventory. It's inventory that they do not pre-sell, that they have on purpose to have on the shelf for when the day comes to sell the things. So you can absolutely still grab a Stompa box. You just need to call around to your friendly local game stores and see who's going to have one available. There's also a bunch of online vendors that are going to be listing them coming this weekend when they can actually sell them. Eraser tops. Yeah, no, McFadden, I feel you. The combat patrols do kind of feel like a downgrade. Um, I was looking at the Tau one earlier because one of my grots does Tau, and he did not get the old one, and you could still get the old one. And we were trying to figure out if we should grab an old box for him or a new combat patrol. And the new one is actually pretty darn decent value. The old one has a couple of characters in it that are like really trashy, sculpts and things like that. And the new one's kind of got a much better selection of things in it as far as that goes. Um, so yeah, it is and it isn't, right? Like the Dark Angels one for sure, dude. The Dark Angels Combat Patrol was like one of, if not the best ones, and they totally nerfed it down. And then yeah, the orc one kind of feels like a downgrade, but again, it was like legit the best box as far as value for money goes. So anything was gonna feel like a downgrade. But it's all good. The new box is pretty nice, like having the Squig Hog boys in it. Like I dig it. It's a nice box. Didn't know those were a thing. Didn't know what was a thing, Joel. You're talking about all sorts of things. I wonder if the stomp will get buffed in the codex. Oh yeah, dude. So gene stealer cults, they're sneakily expensive. The combat patrol is super duper duper cheap. Everything else for them is bananas expensive. So it's one of those things where everybody kind of has a combat patrol of them, and that's about it. But yeah, man, some Colts would be cool. I love Colts. I just already have too many armies. I mean, have you seen my my pile of half started armies? Let's not talk about more armies. Oh, the Lego figs. Never seen them or heard of them. Yeah, the little teeny tiny ones are super duper rare, and they're legit Lego. And I have no idea where or when they are from. They came out of my many boxes of childhood Legos over the years, and the ones that my kids got and all that stuff too. Or tier conversion. Yes, they are. Absolutely, McFadden. They are. In fact, that's probably the best way to do them, and it's probably why I like them so much and want to do them. For that same reason, you know. All right. That's our big Mickey looking. He's looking all right. All right. Hey. All right, guys. It's been a lot of fun hanging out. But I just got to get going to do other things. This was a successful test, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe turn this into a weekly Wednesday thing. And next time we'll paint or build. I don't know. Let me know. Yeah. Well on, everyone.